Welcome back, everybody. I am firstly very sorry that I did not upload a video last week, not even a weekly rotation. It's been the most hectic couple of weeks I've had for a while, and nothing bad, just very, very busy. And I'm sorry I wasn't able to put a video out if you were waiting for one. My apologies. What I have for you in this video is a 2-for-1 the last 2 weeks rotation. I've just been busy, day-to-day life and planning a trip away, which I'm leaving on tomorrow. So I will talk about what I've worn for the last couple of weeks, and believe it or not, I've only worn 2 samples for these 2 weeks, and they are Nice Bergamote by Essential Parfums. I think it's called Nice Bergamote, not Nice Bergamote. What I will say is that Nice Bergamote is actually quite a lovely and, dare I say it, nice perfume. The bergamot's there, yes, it's built around that note, especially in the opening, but it does get quite floral as it begins to dry down, and it's got pretty good performance for what is essentially a citrus perfume. So I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm just thinking that even though I enjoyed wearing it, it just got a little bit too much white floral for me, which is not something that I normally wear, or is something that is my perfume style, if you like. There are white florals that I really enjoy and that are in my perfume wardrobe, but this one was just a little bit not quite me, but I would enjoy smelling this on somebody else. The other sample that I wore actually this morning is my decant of Jean d'Esprit Bal à Versailles. Now, having worn this now a total of about 4 or 5 times, I think it is pretty safe for me to say that I do not actually enjoy this perfume. Whatever is contributing to this sort of dank animalic accord that sits in the middle of the spices and the ambers and the resins, it just goes a little bit off on my skin. I don't think there's anything wrong with the actual decant itself, but I suspect this is just what Bal de Versailles is, and it's not for me. It's not to my taste. It just doesn't work on my skin. So what I'll do now is I'll go through the rest of the bottles that I wore over the last 14 days, and then I'll talk about the 2 perfumes that I chose to wear for 7 days straight. First last week and then this week. So I will just go through these. This is the only Santa Maria Novella perfume that I own. This is Opoponax. It's in the older frosted glass. I believe that these have all they've changed the packaging, and they're still lovely flacons, but I really love the frosted glass from this iteration of Santa Maria Novella. That's Opoponax. I also wore my partial bottle of Derby by Guerlain. Now, as much as I enjoy this perfume, I'm going to say straight out that I believe this has now been discontinued for starters, or this line isn't being sold by Guerlain at the moment. Who knows, they might bring it back. But I can safely say that once I do finish my bottle of Derby, I won't be looking to replace it anytime soon, unless I have a change of heart and I decide that I'm really missing it. I also wore Floris London 1962. This one is also discontinued, but I have a lot of it left, and I do really love this one. a couple of contrasts over the last couple of weeks. There's been some cool days and mainly quite warm days, given that we are now, at the time of recording this, it's the 2nd of March, and officially summer is kind of over down here. So there'll still be some warm weather in March, but we are heading into autumn. I wore Ombre Fetiche by Annick Goutal yesterday, and I've got to say, I really, really enjoyed this, and I could smell it all day, no problem. I was getting wafts of it every now and then. Sometimes I thought that it had worn off or I'd become anosmic to it, and then I suddenly got a whiff of it, and it was lovely. I've always said that this is kind of really, to me, an amber built around this kind of really smoky leather accord, slightly animalic smoky leather accord, and it's just got the right amount of carnality about it for me to really love it, and it was perfect yesterday. Also, I will mention that I've kind of slightly changed my spraying routine a little bit, and probably contributed to me smelling this perfume among others as well, more throughout the day. So I have stopped spraying anything essentially on my chest, below my nose, in front of me, and all my sprays are essentially behind the ear, on the back of the neck, and probably the closest it would get to my chest is I might do a couple of sprays on the tips of my shoulders, on clothing, as long as it's not going to stain. And I find that has kind of slightly changed the way I'm smelling my perfumes. Not that they smell different, but I am, especially with this one and a few others, getting more wafts of them throughout the day, and I guess I'm getting less nose fatigue from having it right beneath my nostrils. So that's just an interesting observation from the last couple of weeks. I loved spraying on Pampelune by Guerlain, Aqua Allegoria. We've had a couple of really, really hot days, and I know that there's been a few days I've come home and just been exhausted, and one of those days I collapsed on the sofa, sprayed this on, and it really reinvigorated my body. And a couple of perfumes that also did that for me had similar effect. My number one currently, my favorite perfume, and every time I spray it on, I'm reminded why I love this so much. And it's even better knowing I love this perfume so much, knowing that it's not everyone's favorite and some people don't like it. It's not a crowd pleaser, but Seville l'Aube by L'Artisan Parfumeur, Bertrand Duchefort, it's just a sensational perfume for me. And I also have that lovely, refreshing mental reset perfume. This is Brum by Miskeo. Very mineralic, ozonic, sea spray, ocean spray on the face, and it just has been. These perfumes have been fantastic in the warmer weather. Now I'll switch to a couple of very long-time favourites of mine. There have been a couple of cool mornings where I wore, essentially, you can almost call this my signature 1740 by Histoire de Parfum, and my dwindling treasure of Absolu pour le Soir by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. I can stretch that out. I'm not avoiding wearing it, but I just know this will be gone by sometime this year, and then I'll mourn it appropriately. Okay, so a couple more freshies to round out the fortnight. First of all, the classic number 19 by Chanel. When I wear this, it's really interesting. I certainly don't get the aloofness and coldness that this has a reputation of having, or just giving you that vibe. This is actually quite a comforting scent for me, especially that the grassy greens blending into that really soft velvety iris accord in the dry down. This is a scent that really helps me regress to happier times. Maybe regress is not the appropriate word, but it always makes me feel like I am in the good old days, some kind of imaginary good old days. And then my party perfume, I think I would call this, Guerlain Homme Eau de Parfum. I never really think about this much when I don't wear it, and then I spray it on and I really appreciate what it is. It's a feel-good, crowd-pleasing perfume, slightly... you can't go wrong with accords of lime and mint and white rum to make you feel like you're in a better mood. That's Guerlain Homme Eau de Parfum. I will say that given that I'm recording this video a day before the technical end of the week, tomorrow I will be at an airport for most of the day and in an aeroplane for most of the day, but I will be wearing Ombre Russe by Parfum d'Empire for my flight, and I'm not too worried that it's going to annoy anyone. I'll spray lightly, but it's a very comforting scent for me. I've loved this for a long time, so it's a nice perfume to be wearing on the thing like a long flight. Now, the two perfumes that I wore for 7 consecutive days. Last week, it was Le Troisième Homme by Caron, Third Man by Caron. Now, what observations did I make wearing this for 7 days straight? It was that this is a fantastic perfume because it was consistent. I think it was similar to what I noticed when I wore Habit Rouge for a week. It was just consistently good. Every day it performed the same. I didn't notice too much new. Where my appreciation grew was for this fantastic opening bergamot/lemon note that is perfectly blended with clovey spice. It becomes warm and then seamlessly melds into the dry down. You just don't notice how this transforms on the skin, and it's just to my mind a classic Caron perfume from 1985. This week I have been wearing everyday Déclaration Eau de Toilette, the original from 1998 by Jean-Claude Helena. Pretty much the same. Like this there has been no day where I've gotten tired of wearing this. In fact, I'm going to spray some on now. I love the citrus opening in this. The caraway/cumin note never gets too sweaty. And what have I noticed about this week is that I think this is actually a warm weather perfume. I know Note Pyramids would suggest it. If you go and read perfume where people vote for seasonal things with perfumes, they've got this more probably for mid-season colder weather. I think this works fantastically in high heat, actually, and as it dries down, I mean, it just smells like your skin in the sun with a bit of sweat on it. But yeah, that's declaration for the last 7 days. I will be in Milan for all of next week, still recording my Scent of the Days, and hopefully I will be uploading a couple of videos while I'm there, maybe even do a live stream, who knows, no promises. But I hope I've caught you up on my last 2 weeks of perfume, and I will see you all very soon. Thank you for your patience. Bye for now.